This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate, and with me is a guy who lost his mood ring this morning, so he doesn't know how he feels about it. Brandon.
I'm really trying to process my feelings right now.
I mean, how are you supposed to know how you feel about your ring?
Yeah, no ring. Man, I thought mood rings were the coolest when I was a kid.
Did you ever have one that actually changed colors?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but based off of my skin heat, not my mood.
I just remember getting them at like arcades, exchange for your tickets, right? Back when
Yeah,
you used to have arcades in
they
the
still have,
mall.
they still have arcades. I went to an
Yeah.
arcade over the weekend.
I don't know which one.
Nickelcade.
Oh, I got Nickelcade. Rush Complex, which we talked about, has an arcade. Classic Skating has an arcade. Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, there you go. Do you have a favorite novelty toy that you get from something like an arcade? Are you a whoopee cushion guy? Disappearing ink? What's your novelty of choice?
Usually candy.
Okay, I mean that's good.
Yeah, I don't have like a go-to that I tried to save up for anything like that.
Convinced my daughter to get rattlesnake eggs on one of our
Oh,
recent visits, and she's still kind of scared.
those are fun. Has anybody ever saved up enough tickets to get like the big prize, like a Nintendo or Xbox?
Matt was telling me recently he saved up quite a bit for, I don't remember what he got, but he got like 100,000 tickets or something back at the
Wow.
Fundome back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But I'm lucky if I get maybe like 500 tickets. I've never been very good at it. I tend to play the fun games rather than the games that win you.
Prizes. I don't go to the arcade very often. Should go to Nickelcade more often because it's Nickelmania. It's not far from our house.
Yeah, it's always a good time. You mentioned you saw at least part of the Mario movie over the weekend.
I saw the probably first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes. It's been interesting because my daughter went with her school. She got to go. My middle child, Bronco, has been so excited to see this movie. He could even, like, he was counting down the days for the last 3 weeks. And so my daughter already going, and then my oldest was going to go with a friend after school. So I had to take Bronco so he didn't feel left out. But when Friday rolls around, man, I'm usually like exhausted from the week.
Yeah, I hear you.
And we went like in the middle of the day, around 2 o'clock or so. It was a packed theater. I was surprised, but yeah, I was having a hard time making it through the trailers. So I got 10 minutes in, just got to Mushroom Kingdom. Then I fell asleep and woke up for the last 10 minutes. So all my kids have been talking about the movie, and I don't know what they're talking about.
You missed the whole thing.
But I do have my pass to Regal, so I can go watch it on my own. I still haven't seen a few movies that I need to
Who are
probably go
you?
see. It's just been
You got to go
busy.
see Air.
Has that been getting any good reviews?
I haven't seen anything about it. Everybody's talking about Mario.
Yeah, it's all about Mario. Yeah,
There's
what's this
a
bucket? Shazam. The new Shazam movie's gotten trashed.
yeah.
Like it's like one of the least productive DC movies.
You've seen that one?
Uh-huh. We went and saw that one with the kids.
There was a Jesus one. I don't know about that one. They even have that at Regal.
Oh yeah, that one's supposedly doing He Is Risen or something like that. I feel like I heard that one's doing pretty well.
What else? We've got a pretty packed next couple months with movies, I feel
Oh
like.
yeah, I think this weekend there's like 3 movies coming out when
Really?
it's usually like maybe one movie a week. So it's that time, it isn't winter anymore, finally.
We talk about movies so much, we should just have a separate movie podcast.
Oh, we
Renfield, that comes out this weekend, right?
which one?
Renfield,
Oh yeah, Nicolas Cage movie.
I want to see that. The Pope's Exorcist, of course.
Of course. With
Dungeons and Dragons.
that's already out.
See, John Wick's out.
I haven't seen it. My wife saw John Wick without me, so I need to go see that. We should go see it one of these afternoons.
Okay.
The
Paint?
Mafia Mama.
Nama.
Like Mafia Mama. There's a lot of M's there.
It looks like
It looks like it could be good. At the same time, it's like, did they everything that's funny is that in the trailer?
probably, yeah. Paint? Is that a
Oh,
either
with Owen
movie?
Wilson. That's already out. I haven't seen that yet. There's lots of movies.
Have you seen 65?
No, I think we were gonna go see it opening weekend, and then it got like really bad reviews, so we saw something else. Seen Creed, seen Scream, seen Shazam. John Wick, I haven't seen. His Only Son. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Dungeons and Dragons looks pretty good. Seen half of Mario. Air, I don't know. Paint, I don't know either.
I want to see Air. That one looks good. I think Renfield.
Oh, but Thursday, you going with me to the Metallica movie?
Of course, my favorite band.
The global premiere.
Yes.
Their new album.
No, absolutely, I'm not going. Sounds like torture of any amount of time.
Well, I wonder if they're just
Are they
gonna
gonna play that one song?
I think they're just. My guess is they're just playing their new album.
They're not gonna play the one they wrote for Stranger Things?
Yeah, they wrote for Stranger Things 40 years ago,
Yeah.
35 years ago. Yeah.
Well, let me know how it is. All this talk of movies, man. There's also a lot of shows going on.
I thought you were talking about concerts because
Oh,
oh my goodness,
Concerts too.
what a lineup for this summer. Like I haven't been to besides with you, but there's so many concerts I want to go to this summer. So many 90s bands making their way through.
Yeah, there's a lot. Got Smashing Pumpkins making a resurgence.
Smashing Pumpkins, you've got Offspring's coming, you got Weezer's coming. Gosh, who else?
So many.
I think Stone Temple Pilots, are they coming with Smashing Pumpkins?
I think so.
But yeah, there's a lot of like my era bands coming through. My son really wants to go to Weezer, so I'll probably end up taking him to Weezer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's really into Weezer lately, which is kind of cool.
That's it. USANA, I think, right?
No, Weezer's at Saltaire.
Oh,
The other
okay.
ones I think are at USANA. So
Some fun stuff coming up.
yeah.
But yeah,
Now that the snow's finally gone,
no, it took long enough.
I think that it was my fault for complaining so much on the podcast that
You manifested
Mother
it.
Nature's going to be like, yeah, let's just screw with Nate a little bit here.
It worked. Yeah, then mentioning shows, there's lots of TV shows, series that are going on. Got Mandalorian is a big one. Going on right now, I believe. I haven't
Have you been
watched any
watching
of it.
Mandalorian, or are you going to wait till that's done?
I usually wait till it's done. I keep seeing spoiler type stuff, so I should probably get on it so things aren't ruined. But
Yeah, I saw a spoiler this morning about some
Don't tell me.
cameos.
Don't
some
tell
cameos
me.
of people. I'm just saying cameos.
I don't want to know
Gosh,
there's cameos. I want to be
there's-
surprised.
There's always cameos. People are upset about the people who made a cameo. They said it ruined the Mandalorian. So, and I just read the headline, so I don't know why. That's all you get. I won't say who they were.
What else? Barry's coming back pretty soon.
Barry's coming back in a week or so.
But I think we want to talk today about another show that has a little bit to do with our state over here.
Yeah, we figured it's an excuse to talk about it since.
A little late to the game. The series finalized a couple weeks ago, but we were busy, so here we are now talking about it.
Plus,
Capitalize on the hype
plus,
around.
I just probably finished watching it, so
Yeah, that too. I did as
that's
well.
the
So
major.
another point where I wait to finish something. I wait to watch it until it's all done. So my wife and I didn't watch it until a couple weeks ago either. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
I'm not good at doing a show because really shows have turned into just a 9 hour movie,
yeah.
right? Um, that's all it really is. So
I mean, they're
it's
making your
really,
favorite series into a show that is going to be 9 hour movies. They're doing the Harry Potter books.
oh yeah. Well, aren't they like starting over? They're just going to remake it, but it's going to be a TV show.
No, they're going to do each book is a separate series, a
Well, I know,
separate
right?
season,
Right. So it's going to be they're redoing Harry Potter then, but as
right?
a series.
Right. Make it
So
more including what's in the books because a lot of stuff gets left out. We're talking about The Last of Us. Another one where Pedro Pascal takes a child and ventures into unknown, uncharted territory.
and he's skilled killer.
Yeah, in some way or another.
Just like the Mandalorian, right?
Yep.
Which is interesting that he is the Mandalorian, but you never get to see him, so you don't really know. I mean, is it really him? Could it be just some
Good
other guy
question.
taking
You get to
credit
see
for it,
him what, like once?
right?
Yeah, it is interesting. But I have a track record of convincing you to watch a show or movie or read a book, and it tends to be a painful experience for you. How was that with this one?
This one wasn't bad. I've never seen or heard of the video game, and from what you and other people say, it's pretty close to the script. And I think that's why they say that people really liked it because it really stuck to the game.
Yeah, I
Um,
never have played it either, but I saw some videos that were circulating, and from what I saw in those videos, and then going back and watching a playthrough after the fact, it's like a shot for shot remake of the game, which is pretty cool. And the game was at least I'd say 10 years ago that it came out. But it seems that video game movies and series are the hot thing right now. And probably even more so
yeah,
after the success of this one and then Mario as well.
yeah, yeah. The thing right now is no originality. You need to have something to base your show off of, either a remake, sequel, or continuation from 20 plus years ago, 30 years ago, video game. Heard the other day they're going to make another Street Fighter movie or try that again. You've got Ninja Turtles coming out again for like the 20th time. Batman's been done 1,000 times. Another
They're
one's
doing
coming
more
out.
Star Wars
Joker.
movies apparently.
They got 3 more. Yeah, they announced the other day again 3 more Star Wars with what's her name? Daisy. But The Last of Us. Going back to your question, I thought it was good. I think it was a little slow. Like it's
Maybe
almost like
dragged out a bit.
they could have did the whole series in like 6 episodes instead of like, is it 9 that they do?
I think so.
Um, so they threw a couple episodes in there that were just not relevant to the story, in my opinion, or not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because I think I even told you the other day that all I should have done is just watched the pre or the what they call
Final
it,
episode.
the final episode where they do the recap at the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have been just fine to understand what's going on. And the fun thing is, there's like they don't even mention like 2 of the episodes, and there's has nothing to do with the story. It
Yeah, I
was
don't think
just
those
filler.
I again I haven't played the game, but I don't think the 2 episodes you're referring to, which were like flashback episodes. I
Yeah.
don't think those were included in the game. They were just something they added to it. Maybe to get to the 9 episode threshold, or just elements they wanted to add into the show. But yeah, I see what you mean. It did drag on a bit in some ways.
But overall, I think it was fun to watch and brought up some good points, questions, on how would you handle things if you were in that situation?
Yeah. I will say the Nick Offerman character, I really liked how he took the approach to things. It made it seem like it was almost fun to have the setup he had. I mean, he was like a survivalist. He had everything prepared. And
So he had his own town, basically.
yeah, he
His
had the whole town to himself. He stuck it out as everybody was getting shuffled off and killed or whatever happened to him. And he just had this town to himself, and he had a nice little setup. But my wife mentioned this. It's usually the beginning of shows, whether it be this, um, Cloverfield, what Walking
Zombieland.
Dead. It all starts with the breakout, how things began as the apocalypse or the end of the world, as you'll view it, how it begins. And those are stressful moments, aren't they? It's a really stressful moment to watch in a show or a movie.
Yeah, it's a total panic, total chaos. It's almost as if a big storm's coming, you're trying to get out of the city. But this one's different because when you have an outbreak like that, where do you run to?
Yeah.
And
And it's kind of funny. I mean, it was from years and years ago, but it begins with a pandemic of some sort of a fungus that turns people into zombies. And some of those things, seeing it as it had like the news clips and the things they're talking about, kind of was callback to what we thought was going to happen at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. Maybe not that people were going to turn into zombies, but the direness of the situation. So it's always interesting to see those things compared to each other. Like how, man, it would be so screwed if there was a zombie outbreak. I mean, there's no way to prepare for something like that, but
that'd be the worst. And this may be the Debbie Downer way to think of things, but sometimes I wonder if an outbreak, something like that happened, or there's a big war that they're just dropping bombs and stuff like that. And it's just, there's really no government at that point, everyone's governing themselves.
yeah,
It's like, oh, do you want to live through that? Or do you just kind of hope that a bomb just hits your house and you're done?
that's a
You
good
and your
point.
family.
That is a
Just be
Debbie
done.
Downer, but yeah, even thinking about if there's like the power grid goes down. I was talking to a friend of the show about this the other day. I mean, what's gonna happen? Well, I won't have a job. You won't have a job. We'll just be all
Well,
fend for
that's what
yourself.
comes down to. Like, even if you have a ton of money, it's pointless. Nobody cares about money anymore. It's all about material things,
Resources.
right? Resources, not
Get that
material
food
things.
storage.
Resources is the best way to say that too, because your car may not work very long if you can't fill it up with gas or get a battery. Yeah, it comes down to food storage and kind of like you're talking about that character of like who could live off the land that he was set up to survive.
I'd be screwed. I know it already. I was just thinking about it yesterday how we need to get some food storage, even if we have when and if we have the big one, the big earthquake. I said a lot of people will be out of drinkable water for 90 days. I mean, that's
I have a barrel that I haven't filled up yet. Had it for years. They're even doing like think about the cities will offer like a discounted like rain barrel that catches water to the bit of
Mhm.
water your plants and stuff.
Yeah.
And at least that'd be something. But I often wonder too, like say you have a big food storage, thinking about here, like the biggest disaster that we could have, natural disaster, is the earthquake, right?
Yeah.
So you say you have food storage and you have a whole year's worth or whatever, but then your house gets destroyed in the earthquake and then your food storage is gone.
That's a
What
good
then?
point. Falls into the center of the earth.
Yeah. So it's a lot of what ifs. This makes you wonder. Watching that show though makes you like, oh, it's nice that I have a roof over my head and running water, and
Nice to
I can
just be able
I
to
can
turn
go
the
out in
show
public
on,
without fearing I'm gonna die.
either by a zombie or just a bad person.
Yeah. Makes you grateful for what you have. The little things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it makes you ponder watching shows like this. It's hard to check out because it does make you kind of put yourself in the shoes of the people in the show. And tell you what, I would not be prepared like Mr. Pascal or Offerman. I would be up creek.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't last long. That's for sure. We're
But
watching another show. I think I told you about this, where it's supposed to be a high school girls soccer team from
right.
30 years ago or 20 years ago who crashes in a forested area and they're stuck out there for 18 months. So it's kind of the same concept, but you don't have any resources really with you to begin with. So you have to live off the land. Same idea that makes you go, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. And would I be able to? Would you be able to like hunt? And how many of us could actually, what do they call it?
Clean an
Dress?
animal.
Clean it, dress an animal, clean it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be screwed for sure.
so yeah. What do we want to talk about? Any spoilers on the show, or do we give it a
Um,
spoiler alert?
I
Or
don't
just,
know. I mean, there's a video game, there's a show. It's been so long. I think the spoiler curtain's lifted, you know?
I know. Or do we say right now that if you haven't watched it and you don't want any spoilers, we'll see you next week?
Yeah. I'll say I already knew the ending of the show basically before I watched the movie or the series, basically because of it being a video game for so long. Like you just have seen clips, you know what happens. So for me, I already was spoiled. If you want to keep listening, it's gonna be spoiled for you too. I don't think we'll give away a lot. I mean, there's a lot that happens in the show that you could discuss, but I think we're more focused on the plot and what it leads to and leading to Salt Lake, right?
Yeah. So the very last episode, as they travel from Boston, is where they originate, right?
So
Start
the
their
whole
journey.
yeah, so the point of it is the girl that he's escorting across the country is immune. Like she was bitten by a zombie and multiple zombies actually. She gets bit a couple of times, but she doesn't turn into one like other people do. So they want to test her and figure out how she's able to, I guess, be immune so they can find a cure or something.
Yeah.
But taking her
So she has
from
something in her blood or something that can possibly be the vaccination.
right. Yeah, so they want to take her from Boston, as you said, across to the country. I think originally the plan is from Boston to Wyoming because that's where the main character's brother is in the
Well, I think the very beginning they weren't going to go very far. And then the Fireflies, right? There's a group of people who were like kind of like the rebellion
yeah.
against everybody. Well, trying to find a cure still. But their first attempt to find him, not good. And then it was go find his brother, right, in Wyoming.
Yep.
And then find, anyways. But so basically, they travel from Boston to Wyoming, and then end up in
Over
Salt
the span
Lake
of 9 episodes.
for 9 hours. That's all it took.
Yeah. And again, go watch the show if you're interested to know what happens because we're not really discussing that as much. I mean, you can kind of guess the plot, all the things they're going to encounter along the way, whether it be zombies or people that are trying to keep resources to themselves or get back at people, whatever it may be. They encounter a lot of turmoil along the way. And even they get to Wyoming and still have issues. Come up empty when I think they tried to go to Colorado to some university and didn't have any success.
Oh, right. I was gonna say, didn't they get to Denver at one point or Colorado? Yeah.
Yeah, University of Colorado or something, University of Denver. So they go there and they don't find what they need. And so they just keep heading to a little further west, I guess, from Colorado. And it kind of ends in Salt Lake. The series ends there.
Well, that's where they find him.
Yep.
Or I shouldn't say find him, they ran into him.
Right.
So I guess they were looking for him, but one thing I think is interesting about, and I wonder if that's the way it would be too. It's interesting how the enemy is actually the fungus, right? The zombies.
Right.
But every time a human comes in contact with another human, they're naturally enemies and they try to kill each other.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the way it would be?
I'm surprised there's not more zombies in the show. Actually, they didn't deal with the zombie things as much.
No, the dangerous
more fighting people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dangerous part was the actual humans that weren't infected.
Yeah.
Because everybody was trying to rise up and have their own little communities or own little governments.
Everyone's looking out for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is funny. One of my favorite parts of or I guess you say quotes in the movie or movie is when spoiler alert, he does find his brother in Wyoming and they're living in this big Jackson Hole, I think is where they're living, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
They kind of have a commune.
And he's like, oh, so you're a communist now? And he's like, oh no. And his wife or fiance is like, yeah, we live in a commune. We're communist.
Yeah.
And the look on his brother's face is like, oh,
dang, I didn't even realize that they got me.
Yeah, that we are a communist. So
yeah,
but interesting. But yeah, they make it to Salt Lake. They are basically downtown Salt Lake City. When they're on the freeway, I couldn't figure out which ramp they were supposed to be on or freeway exit.
Yeah.
And then even when because what they would do in the show, spoiler it again, is when they get to a new area or city, they would climb a skyscraper
to the Talos Point,
so they could kind of look over the city to see if there's any danger. So you kind of got to see Salt Lake City, but right there's a baseball field. Do you know what baseball field that was supposed to be?
Oh, that's Smith's Ballpark. No,
is
just kidding.
Smith's Ballpark? That's what I'm like. Well, that can't be. Like,
yeah,
is it like the U's baseball field, or
it's almost like they took the same backdrop, the same of what they built for the game, and they put it into the show because they never actually. I don't think they filmed in Utah at all. It was all filmed in Canada.
No, I think Canada is where they filmed the show, right?
Yeah, in the game you can see there's kind of a point where they get to that building and they look out and there's giraffes everywhere in this baseball field and they're feeding a giraffe. And you can see in the background the Salt Lake City skyscrapers. In the game, you can see the the Salt Lake Temple. I mean, that's cool that lasted, And then, but in the show, I think because when they filmed it, the temple was under construction already. And so you don't actually get to see it because it's covered with scaffolding and it's kind of taken down.
But you see the church office building.
Yeah. So, yeah, they never actually filmed it there, but I think they built the skyline. Actually, just look at our logo, and that's kind of what you see, minus the temple.
There you go. And giraffes.
And giraffes, yeah. But I don't know if they based that, if that was supposed to be some kind of a actual ballpark or it was just something they used for the show, because, nobody really knows what it looks like here, except for us.
But yeah, so it's kind of cool to see Salt Lake kind of highlighted in a movie or show.
You mentioned the on-ramps. You can see the green signs that say Salt Lake and everything. So it's just cool to kind of be at the climax of this show that it's focused on here. And I've heard it said that if there was kind of a zombie outbreak or something, even a war, Utah's one of the best places to be for something like that
Makes sense.
because of our mountains and because of just kind of the natural protections we have in place.
Well, before we wrap it up, I just have one question that I've been asking people who've seen it. And another, again, spoiler alert, the girl possibly has the cure for everybody. But when they finally find her, the option to possibly get a cure would be that she would have to die because the stuff they need is in her brain
Yeah.
and it would kill her. But it has the possibility of saving everybody and ending zombie land. So here's a question to you. Your kid or someone that you care about a lot, your loved one, has some immunity or some cure inside their body that they could give to everybody to save the world, but they would have to die. Could you do it? Could you sacrifice your kid for that?
And thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
You're not going to answer it?
I think I'd probably say no, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't think I
It's
found
too
anybody
hard.
yet. I don't think anybody yet I've met talked to. Everyone's just like, oh, in not so nice words, but basically say let the world burn.
Yeah.
So that'd be hard. I think it'd be easier
If it
for
was
like
me-
yourself, like if it was you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like this
let's
world
do it.
sucks anyway with all the zombies
Yeah.
and everything going on.
Right.
Take me, fix it with my brain. And maybe she would have, that's another conundrum. She didn't agree to not go through with it. He kind of decided that for her.
Right. But then tells her that,
That's the spoiler. That's how it ends.
yeah. But which you wonder too, did they tell her before she went in, like, you're going to die, or did they just grab her and say,
Yeah.
we're going to fix this? But,
Gonna have to
Yeah.
wait till the next season to find out.
and I hear the next season is there another video game or part
Yeah.
2?
There is.
Oh, I thought I heard that they're not going to follow the video game as much, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll check it out if you haven't yet. It's on HBO. It's a good show.
Good show. Just like our show.
Thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
See you next week. What was our sign off going to be?
We don't have one.
Oh, it's supposed to be, and thanks for listening. And this was a place
This was a
about.
place we talked about. Good night, folks.
We talked about.